Hi everyone. Hi. I want to adjust my lights. Oh my gosh. Uh, okay, we'll just leave it at this. All right. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's day 72. Thank you for your support. I cannot thank you enough. So we looked at Kenya today, and you know, guess it is what it is. Just as with Tanzania, I didn't get a lot from Kenya, and yeah, I just hope the audio is not restarting. My thinking is that it's because most of the things that are fascinating about Kenya and Tanzania, in fact, East Africa, they're in seasons. If you were to go to South Africa, you'd be able to do bungee jumping, you'd be able to do snowboarding, you'd be able to do zip lining. But, specifically to East Africa, there's a lot of like wild beast migration. You're basically going to see wildlife, and that doesn't happen like all year round. That happens specific seasons in the year. I think that's one of the reasons for it. And so, specific seasons in the year, there are lots of like safety concerns, and then the people asking like questions. And what else? Honestly, that was like my first thinking. Then the second thinking is that maybe most people who travel to those regions are not they're not using uh TikTok as they should. Maybe they're more of Facebook, they're more of like on Facebook. My third hypothesis is that there could be restrictions. Uh could be anything. Somebody could have traveled, said something nasty, and they may not be allowed again. So I'm saying this because there's a precedent of African countries. I had to be okay, so there's a precedent, and president of African countries taking caution on when there's bad media about them. Okay, because that requires putting that together requires some sort of wisdom, so that it doesn't sound like, oh, they use force and all of that. No, I don't know what means they use, but I assume that maybe they just try to like solve it however way, right? And so that could be like another hypothesis. I might be wrong, but I feel like that could be like the third reason why I'm not seeing a lot. Of course, I'm seeing like a few, but it's not triggering me. It's not triggering me. It's not getting me worried. And so when I say worry, I'm not saying negative worry. I'm saying positive worry. As a business person, I need signals. If I'm going to do a field pilot to Kenya and Tanzania, what I'm doing is a demand driven pilot. It's not a geography driven pilot. So I'm not going to Tanzania or Kenya because there's something to see there. I'm going there because there's a tribe that's calling out to me. And so, yeah, that's it. So I guess it really gets rough when it's like tourist season. And anywho, possibly those two places would be outside of like, our field pilot. Most possibly, yeah, possibly. Um, but you get like the final conclusion on December 9th. That's like the 100th day of this challenge. You would really get to know, yeah, what my thoughts and on that. Alrighty, so let's just move to Europe. We've done Asia, we've done Africa. Now let's move to Europe. Let's see if we see some demands in Europe. I think I should just share my screen. We're still on TikTok because we're supposed to use TikTok. After we're done with TikTok, then we're supposed to move to Facebook. And then this research will then influence my country brief. So let me go ahead to share. I'm just trying to like open up my screen, or my TikTok screen, to see what's there. So I'm supposed to go to explore, and we just start. Oh gosh. Okay, so it's Portugal travel safety. This is correct. That's travel safety. Portugal travel scam. Portugal travel. Another thing I also did this morning was to research places with like lots of tourist safety concerns. But let's see. At the end of this test, this is the sixth test. I'm able to come to a conclusion based on several hypotheses to say, okay, this is where we'll be great enough for a bootstrapped business, and you know, Lisbon travel. It has to have travel in it, else you just bring like lots of random stuff for you, and you're wondering to yourself if it is going to work. Okay, gonna be something here. I know his sound comes into my video, my live video. I think what I'll do is, yeah, I'm gonna reduce it. Right? Yeah, things like this. People don't get to like respond. So I think I'm gonna leave this command shift. Okay, I need to finish up this for Portugal. Brief. Oh, shit. The hell was that? Yeah, this is why I didn't use this stuff on that stuff. Right here. Should actually just needs to come to us with this relationship. Relationship. Let's see. You can. Supposed to reach them, but this was 2024. So there's no point saying going back to them. If it's way too long, there's absolutely nothing we could do. Is that a thing? Yeah, that was a long time ago. Oh, that's good. I'm so scared. It's 2024. Okay, so that was a kid bit. Okay. Oh, that's Spain. I thought that was supposed to be Portugal. I searched Portugal. Okay, culture shock. Let's see. Okay, check check here. For local, you may not necessarily be able to get all that. Okay. And we don't get shocks anyway, so if I can buy drugs, I was able to. Yeah, that's just like the only way. And then I feel like maybe for some travelers, it would help to like learn specific phrases in that local language. And you know, when strangers come to you, could easily just like say that. Just see. Yeah, where troubles come. Yeah. This was nothing. There's nothing here. Mm, that's crazy. They're probably just independent drivers. They just want to do. Mm, I cannot. Yeah, I cannot like understand what you're saying. Yeah, I've seen it. Where? Think about calling the police. But then it just means that operations in specific countries are not centralized. They're not accessible enough. And you know that's one of the problems anyways. But if we're able to like go to a country and then we say, okay, let's just go. Well, that's crazy to be able to do. So like very good for my contributors that I'm doing. Actually, So what have you been, yeah, I think it's something I've been having for over a year. It truly needs to be addressed. Um, there's so many things that need to like go through, like a quality control in the travel space. If corporates have to decide that they really want to work on that and if for anything to change. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I would see if I'll just go ahead to keep looking at Portugal or we'll continue the last session tomorrow. But right now, we're still prospecting from Portugal. We moved to like the last country for Facebook and sorry for TikTok. And that's I'm going to round up on TikTok and then I'm going to go to Facebook, run the same test, the same keywords, and see what we can achieve. But remember, the goal is to get 3 people to test this week. We already have ambassadors, and I think I'm good with the ambassadors that we have in the sense that like I'm good with that number. We test and then before we decide to scale. So yes, thank you. Bye. Stop sharing and stream.